Hi there. I accidentally left the music on loop. As of last time I had my goal was to head up the central tower. I had to come back here to the in-between theater to raise my Digimon and actually forgot to climb the tower back up to where I stopped before. And I have several Digimon in training now. This is how to adjust their personalities. I'll come back to this later. In between streams, I came back to that outer dungeon with the Digimon I couldn't beat before. And now I'm able to beat it fairly easily. The first time you beat it, you get this Digimon as a reward. It's also the best way I currently have to farm money, so I'll show it once. You can do the whole thing without even actually fighting a battle if you have a strong enough team. You know, come here and ensure your team has a strong data type. As I should talk about the new Digimon I have. I've raised a few more. I've mostly figured out how's the most efficient way to evolve. I was having a lot of trouble with that before, but now I have several new champions. Also, I've taken it upon myself to nickname a few of my Digimon because it feels weird to have just a little few nicknamed Digimon and a bunch of others I'm using are stuck with their default names. So now I have Shiren the Repamon, Diglett the Sunflamon. This used to be the Tentomon that carried me over the first few bosses. Bismarck the Sidramon and Elias the Gatomon. Everybody else still has their default names, so if you want to name any of them, you can. This dungeon gives you 10,000 yen every time you beat it, which is just enough to either skip the training for a Digimon in the farm, or to max out their bond, and I want to get into this more in detail later. But you can't let a single one skip by. If they touch the Digimate, it's over. Also, whenever the Falcomon starts showing up, you have to prioritize them, because if they run past you, you can't catch up to them. Otherwise, you just need a data type that's strong against this champion, so you can beat it without having to enter a battle. There's a Falcomon. Whoops. Nossa, in order to be able to dodge attack from far away like this, your camera has to be facing the Digimon you want to target. It's not enough to just be near it. For that to get, not to just 10,000 yen actually, because all the enemies you have to beat also drop money. So actually they get about 13,000 yen per run of this dungeon. And Mirei is back to being a kid again. So for every single one of these Digimon, I had to change their personalities to something else. I'm now going to have to open like several tabs in my browser to check which they were. I should have kept a note of that. And Gizmo, I've been training this one in a very inefficient way, as I have found when I researched how to properly raise Digimon during the week. But now it's too late to change it up. He's almost ready to evolve. I think he just has to change personality too. Enlightened, so he's not there yet. This Tokumo has to be enlightened. Oh, this one is already reached it. My goal is to turn this one into a Lucimon, which is a special evolution. I don't have the rank for it yet, but I thought I might as well prepare it in advance. The personality is right, so it lowers the stat criteria to evolve. Other than that, he needs intelligence, which at 290 he needs 340, which is pretty close. I think you'll reach that just by leveling up. And he needs a high level cap, which I can achieve just by giving him fodder. Now back to the main quest. Hi there, Kira. Let me have one of each type in the front line. I haven't used Elias in battle yet ever since evolving here, which by the way she was the Salamon I had before. You can see the history up there. So vaccine, data and virus. Want to see here special animation. Physical attack, chance for confusion. That's going to be strange because I was building her up as a caster and a healer. But she's now meant to be a physical attacker. I think that's the same animation as in Cyber Sleuth. So for fodder Digimon, I found that it's better to convert it as soon as you reach 100% as opposed to waiting for 200. I think like 2, I haven't tested it properly, but I think 2 100% fodder will give you a lot more XP than one single 200% fodder. What I've been doing here to grind was I convert a a rookie fodder, and then I try to evolve it to champion before using it to synthesize into another Digimon. Because the champions will give a lot more experience. Yes, hi there, Night Cerberus. How much magic damage can she do? It's still pretty high. By the way, last time, Night Servers, I think I'd asked about the how these blue stats work. And during the week, I had the chance to actually understand how the system is, and I had to read several articles before I had a proper grasp of it. It's not super complicated, just a bit not very intuitive. So these blue stats are bonus stats you gain when you either evolve or de-evolve your Digimon. The way it works is, first, the way you read those, the blue stats are included in the white stats. So, for example, he's got a 7 next to his... Bismarck has a 7 next to his attack stat. That doesn't mean he has like 312 plus 7 attack. He has 312 and 7 of these points are from bonus stats. Now, whenever a Digimon either evolves or devolves a portion of their stats they've accumulated from leveling up, gets converted into permanent bonus stats, that's in the blue points. What I hadn't realized is that to gain these bonus stats, your Digimon needs to have a high bond. The higher your bond percentage, the bigger portion of your accumulated stats will be converted to bonus stats. So the way to properly raise Digimon in this is pick what Digimon you want to raise, increase their bond as much as you can. With this, Kyubimon I experimented by just outright maxing out her bond, by giving her a lot of food in the Digifarm, which I found is the fastest way. I'll save and do this just to demonstrate. Kyubimon has 100% bond, so she'll get the most out of changing forms. Her level is 13, so she has gained a decent amount of stats on her base level. So she has high bond and a high level. Now check out her bonus intelligence points. They're at 57, and see how they change if I devolve her. Now they're at 74, so she's gained points despite moving back on evolution. And you can keep doing this. For example, I'll give her some fodder to level up. And now devolve her again back to Wanyamon. Now her bonus intelligence points are 75. And now it to grow to 84. And that's how you can get Digimon with like super high stats. You level them up and keep it evolving or devolving with high bond. Raising bond is the most boring part. The normal way to do it is by having them in your front line and fighting lots of battles with them. But I find it's a very slow process like this. Acida has been with me from the start of the game and his bond is still at 48%. The quick way is to put your Digimon on the farm and give him a lot of Digifood, but it's a bit boring to do, especially to a full party. In any case, you only have to worry about this when it's time to evolve or devolve the Digimon Tatsuin Bond comes into play.
あいつだ。準備完了。
Also, I missed your message.
すまない。
That's okay. If you want to catch up later, the VOD will be on the channel.
そんな。いけるぞ。やるよ。はあ。スタンディードブロー。 やるわ。ストライクロール。やった。
But because of all the grinding I've done, I probably overleveled for this part of the storm.
よし。 リーソ発動可能。スタンディードブロー。インフレアブレス。よし。あいつだ。発動可能。スタンディードブロー。インフレアブレス。やるわ。ストライクロール。やった。やるんだ。発動可能。スタンディードブロー。
I think what I just did to raise Digimon of Sin is what you would have to do if you were playing a higher difficulty. I was just doing this because I didn't want to progress the plot of 3, but I still want to play the game. I hadn't realized Solarmon was a vaccine type. Tokumon needs his talent to be at 30. Talent is the level cap. And I find that you gain 1+1 level cap for each fodder you absorb. Yes, so he needs 4 more. And I will have to raise my rank until I'm able to turn him into Lucimon. Alright, every time I launched the game I forgot about this occasional time hit. Champion enemies take like ages to max out in scan data, so I'm not going to bother. The funny thing is that with some fodder you can evolve them right away, and then they give a lot more experience. This Agurumon can evolve, but I want it to become something else, I'm just not sure yet. I think Fanbimon is especially easy to evolve to Kabuterimon. Wow, she has an SP restore as a bonus score. Nice. I think the game doesn't even expect me to have a full champion party at this point when most random enemies are still rookie. Here, I just converted this Squabbly and I can already evolve it. And I think it's largely because his personality matches Yono of Ogremon. This is also essential to evolving. I think it will become more so the further we get into the game. For every personality category, you have this agent skill. Which makes it so that if your Digimon's current personality matches with the default one for their target evolution, the stat requirements get lower by 20% for every node that you unlock. And by matching their personalities, it gets a lot easier. But again, it is a long and kinda boring process to do so. There's usually material down here. Yes, but I still don't have any use for this. Yeah, she repeatedly kicks you in the face after victory animation. I wasn't expecting that. That's why I'm not to ride anybody. I keep forgetting you can do that. So I can avoid the battles altogether. And I can finally find out what's beyond this point in the tour. Oh right, there's a portal for me in the top. And if you run into enemies, that counts as an attack. And beyond this point, it's uncharted territory. I need to recenter my model.
みんな
Done. By the way, we're going to say a lot of this from now on. Endless fodder conversions and evolutions. There's a Hakurumon. And I, for whatever reason, can't place in on Shiren's back. I have to carry it. Oh, dear, turn off auto battle. I forgot to talk about this. This actually happened while I was playing off stream. So this can show up at random in any wild battle. It's a very low chance. Platinum Numemon is a mega, and it's very hard to beat. He's almost exactly like a metal slime in Dragon Quest. Like, most attacks either don't deal damage or deal very little to him. And the game says he's prone to running away, but the first and only time I found him so far, he didn't do that. So maybe I just got lucky. If you beat him, he drops a lot of money and experience. I found that your best bet against him is to try to attack him with multi-hit attacks, because if some of the hits miss, I mean, you have a higher chance to hitting at least a few of the hits. And I think he's immune to any status effects. You change to whatever vaccine type you have. But she doesn't have any multi-hit attacks. I think Shirin has one. No luck. Here, Burst Flame has 5 hits. I think this is my best attack against him. Oh, nice. Just one more hit should do it. And he drops 50,000 yen. I have to show the tutorial bit that shows up the first time you find one. Upon such encounter, certain Digimon will unexpectedly join the battle. This gives the idea that there's more than just Platinum Numemon that can show up like this, but I've never seen any other. And then you have these pictures. You even get scan data, but it's going to take ages to get enough to convert one. It's just 5% per battle. But if you're lucky enough, you can get a mega way before you're supposed to. I think at some point you're going to have to actually dodge Digimon while
よし
crossing this bit.
よしやるんだ
くるくるレッカー山
やるよスタンビートブロー
This attack is actually just a solar beam from Pokemon. It even disables the Digimon for one turn.
はあサンシャインビ
くるくるレッカー山
ームありがとねはあスタンビートブローやった
Oh, there's a puzzle here. Oh, do I have to get the lift to this level?
やるんだやるんだ
Nice, my party is not healed yet.
すまないみんな
I bet I'm almost at the top at this point. There's the boss arena.
リーソ
あるぞくるくるレッカー山
やるよスタンビートブローレゴパンチはあサンシャインビーム感謝するみんな
Whoops.
とりゃ
やった
Well, we had this in the last string. This seems to happen at random. Sometimes your whole party will not spawn and you can't... and I can't ride shit in because it doesn't appear for whatever reason.
リーソ発動可能は
あるぞくるくるレッカー山
あスタンビートブローやっやったリーソお
Was that a bird drone?
準備完了
It's probably another... Probably another virus Digimon, but I don't know any bird virus from the top of my head.
みんなよしそこだ 行くぞ。そこだ。発動可能。スタンピードブロー。やった。
Engine shut out. This might be a shortcut once you beat the dungeon. And it's a good time to check my Digiform again. You still don't have the correct personality. What was it supposed to be again? Enlightened. But just one more session should do it. I'll pay to skip this one. Oh, now I think he shifted too much to the right. Yeah, because I didn't have a farm item that just shifts you to the upwards. So I have to train one more time. Okay, now I think it's ready. Actually, the problem is that Gizmo has 0% bonus, so all these stats I gave it by training will go to waste if I evolve now. I have to raise its bond. No, I was talking about the most efficient way to max out a Digimon's bond, which is to just give it a lot of food on the Digifarm. Whoops. Didn't mean to do this. You have to find what food makes him react with a heart. They all cost the same, but different Digimon will each have their preference. So the banana makes it react with a heart, and the heart food will raise its bond by 2% every time you feed him. So once you know a Digimon's favorite food, you'll come over here and buy. If you want to raise their bond from 0 to 100, you need 50 of their favorite food. I won't get that much for the sake of timing, but I want to at least a bit of bond to... so it can keep some stats when evolving. I mean, gain some bonus stats. Unfortunately, you can't skip this animation. You can't feed them more than once per time. I'll try to do the bulk of this process in my time off stream in the future, but there's no getting around it. I think the Digifarm is one of the elements that people have been complaining the most about in this game, and I wonder if there's any chance it gets improved in an update. If it doesn't, there's probably going to be a mod to improve it in the future. Also, this Gizmo I've trained in a very, very inefficient way because I still didn't understand how bonus stats worked. I just studying for a very, very long time, just grinding stats in the farm by training and letting the game idle. If I knew what I know now, I'd just cycle his evolution, like how I did with the Kyobimon, when I showed off how it worked. How much is the bond now? 55, that's good enough. But can you actually evolve now? Yes, until it's a special evolution, but you can do it at rank 3, unlike Lucimo. And there you have a Landamon, which has 2 special skills. She's not actually a champion, the game calls her a variable. I mean a hybrid, a variable is her type. Which I think isn't a strong or weak against anything. I'm not actually a big fan of Landamon or Digimon Frontier in general. What I was most interested in was her form change, which you can do for free. Level, personality, talent, and bond will not change, can be performed and reversed freely. And this is Kalmaramon. So I wonder if the 2 of them have... I think her stats don't actually change. They do. Landamon has 275 attack and 680 intelligence. Kalmaramon has more attack but less intelligence. She needs to level up before I can actually use her. Actually, I can use the fodder being gathering. Maybe I can use her on the upcoming boss. Do I have any spare attachments to give her? Nothing that raises her stats. Oh, this one is interesting. You can change your Digimon's type with this equipment. Now the problem is that because all Digimon are shrunk in this game, she looks very strange at this scale. Her human part just looks too small. And I usually need a CD on the front line for the start of the boss fight, because it's when his special skills that is most efficient. Oh, his eyes glow in the dark. I hadn't noticed this before. I like it.
通信の機械？ん？動作には異常なさそうだな。ということはやはりあの雲が通信を妨害しているのか。
Okay, so not a Bertramont, actually it's another very obvious choice.
発動可能。
But it's still on auto. I should have looked up this type before using the debuff. It's actually a vaccine. I thought it was a virus. Bronze water magic attacking causes mode change, so she can turn into Lanamon during battle. And I forgot to review her moveset. I think when I leveled her up, she might have learned new skills, but because this was already full, they got converted into discs I have to use to teach her. And the last giant boss we had was a Greymon. The Repair Winter is struck by lightning. But my only choice is to keep attacking him. Let me try out Reinstrom. Doesn't look like it is. He's limping around. And wow, Igamon still is incredibly powerful. It's more than any of my party's full HP. You say immune to stats decreases? Nope. Okay, so Titanic charge is associated with Kalmaramon and Reinstring is Lanamon. So if you use the other farmer's special skill, you'll change into it. I forgot to heal Shin, but he's still holding up.
私の目が黒いうちは好きにはさせない。この町は私にとっての誇り。それを荒らすような行いは私の魂を踏みにじったも同然だ。地の果てまで追い詰めてやる。この足で疾風のごとく。瞬きに気をつけるがいい。目を閉じているその間に叩きのめす。行くぞミネルヴァモン、客人たち。
We have one more quest. I got an achievement for that because his attack got ranked as excellent. And even though none of that was my achievement, it counted as well, in-game achievement. His Death Charm is still useful at this point. Oh yeah, it's still a good chunk of damage.
出たのに降りてきた。しかも雷が止んでる。一体何が。あいつの頭の羽、ものすごい力が集まっている。このままじゃ危険だよ。頭の羽を集中的に攻撃しよう。
It's the same deal as with the Greymon. So now I'm actually swapping my data types, which are strong against the vaccine.
頼む。クロスアーツ発射。
ありがとう。
行くわよ。サンシャインビーム。やっ。
キャッ。サンザンドフィ
He's
スト。
still going to be able to cast it. Never mind.
はあ。スタンビードブロー。
Oh yeah, he's immune to lightning.
頼んだ。
落雷が止まったままだ。今のうちに攻めろ。
やっ。
キャッ。サンザンドフィスト。
So not only am I over leveled, but this fight is meant to be easy anyway because of Merukimon joining you. It's still charging up again. I think this sound will reach there. Higher defense, but it doesn't affect magic attacks, I think.
はあ。サンシャインビーム。
And it's done. So the Dark Cloud was just because of Paratomon. I thought it would be a portal back to the human world.
よく聞こえない。こちらセントラルタウン電波塔応答せよ。 くそ、切れたわ。ユノモンの神殿は。こちらミネルヴァモン、聞こえる？神殿の状況を教えて。こっちもダメか。どうなっているの？
思った以上に各地にタイタン族の侵攻が進んでいる。わからない。しかし状況は思った以上に悪いのかもしれないな。タイタン族との因縁自体は数年前から続いていた。だが今までこれほどの攻撃を受けることはなかった。まさか直接こちらを攻めてくるとはな。ともかく一度状況の整理が必要だ。これからのことは明日もう一度私の館で話そう。客人たちには部屋を用意する。一旦そこで休ん
Sorry,
で。
still not going to be able to go back home quite yet. There's quite a few side quests waiting for me in the human world. I'm going to be over level for these as well when I get to do them. As this is a very nice looking lodge. Actually reminds me a bit of the Paris house in Digimon Down in this. How it would look like in 3D.
周りのデジモンにすっごく見られて、ここだと普通の人間って自分だけなんだなって。こんなに心細かったんだ。祈り。自分も普通の人間だって？一人じゃない？ごめんなさい。またやっちゃった。私、エージェントさんを普通の人だと思ってないのかも。なんていうか、私の
In
中
my
では
head, you're
や
like,
っぱり昔見てたアニメの主人公、小さい頃の憧れの存在。
and that's what everybody thinks.
気を使ってくれてあ
We
りが
look
とう。
too fictional for other humans, but too human for
いろんなこと
Digimon.
がありすぎて、もうクタクタ。
祈りは奥のベッドを使いなよ。あ、これは僕の部屋と同じやつ。僕はここがいい。
それじゃあ今日はもう休もう。本当に大変な一日だったね。
祈りは僕が守る。絶対に元の世界に連れて帰るから。
I thought that was gonna be one of these very typical scenes where a character is looking at the night sky and another shows up saying like, you can't sleep either. And they start talking.
祈り、なんか元気なくない？
あんまり眠れなくて、本当に帰れるのか心配になっちゃった。お父さんやひろこ心配してるだろうな。これからどうなるかわからないけど、まずはミルクリモンのところへ行ってみよう。
情報を総合すると、要するにデジモンの世界は内戦状態のようだ。やはり新宿インフェルノとの関連が強く含まれる。あれのきっかけもデジモン同士の抗争だった。この内戦を調査すれば真相に近づける。すまないが急いでくれ。こちらの世界には
They, for whatever reason, take their fight to the human world and destroy the human world. And we have side quests in the digital world now. I'll go after them. I have to get one of these nodes for amicability. Which was the closest one again? This, and I found for whatever reason a lot of the Digimon I want to require the wisdom personalities, so I'll prioritize getting this bonus node on wisdom. I think the next closest one is this. A nice view. And what's over there? I have to do this one because I think that's when you unlock the ability to craft items.
Yoshi.
But why is it going to be easy to get lost in this map? It's not even particularly large. It's so densely populated that it makes it look way bigger than it actually is.
Yoshi.
We're already famous. Oh yeah, I already have them because I farmed so much off stream. I don't have to do anything. These seems to be all the farm items I already have. I thought that there will be some different ones. The decorations don't do anything. Oh, I'm a bit a little disappointed. I thought that there would be more specialized ring sets like that dedicated to reach a very specific personality. These two are in the human world. Oh yeah, I think Shira is not in the main lineup. Yes, yes, she's just not spawning. There you are. Well, he is able to see behind him at all times.
やるんだ。あ、あ、
Excuse me. Are they sunbaiting? Wait, is that it? I just have to speak to him? I think there's going to be a bunch of them throughout the tower. But anyway, the game says I have to go back to the town. No, that was really it. At least it's some easy agent points. Sadly for the bonds of loyalty part, I think I'll mostly ignore it because I'm really prioritizing getting these nodes first. They're way too important for evolution to ignore. I think Valor is the next personality that comes off more often. Now back to the main quest. As I love how just how packed this pub is. My apologies, that was the tail talking. I'm sorry my tail is so rude. If Rapamon's tail says a story, is he held accountable?
よく来てくれた。そして電波塔では本当に世話になったな。改めて礼を言わせてくれ。
私からもお礼を言わせてくれ。あんたたち大したもんだよ。それに
Everybody loves us already.
どうしたの？
いや、なんでもない。
とにかくいろいろと世話になった。今度はこちらがそちらの願いを聞く番だ。が、しかしすまない。実は新たな問題が発生しているのだ。 昨日もあれから各地に通信を試みたがうまくいかない。各
More
地に
towers.
タイタン族の侵攻が進んでいるらしい。このままではお前たちをユノモンの神殿に連れて行くことができない。通常ユノモンの神殿にはロコモン鉄道を使うのだが、その動力源があるファクトリアルエリアに異変があったようなんだ。この町に入り込んだタイタン族は私が相当する。そして君たちはファクトリアルエリアへ行ってもらうことはできないだろうか。すまない。感謝する。世界に平和が戻り次第、必ずお前たちを元の世界に送り届ける。
いいよ。この世界を知れば知るほど自分が何者なのか分かってきた気がするし。
アイギオモン、
ファクトリアルエリアへの臨時の交通手段を用意した。表通りで合流してくれ。それでは頼む。どうか気をつけていってくれ。
Don't worry, we are still overleveled. But no, I think Minerumon's not going to be in the party anymore. No, I'd like to, as I may feel new Digimon in the next dungeon. I said before I wanted a Gyomon, and here he is already evolved into a Gromon. Oh, he's a virus. As I use this Kyobimon. For Devastator, I really need a skill that gives him a taunt buff. Without it, he can't be a proper tank yet. I needed to evolve this Vimon, but I think he's not in the correct personality. I'll have to address this later. And in pretty much every Digimon game I play, I raise a Wagamon.
ねえねえ、すごいね。なんだろうこれ。すっごい大きい。乗り物なの？
いやいや、すごいのは君たちの方。電波塔のタイタン族をやっつけて追い払っちゃったんでしょ。デジタルワールドは大変なことになってきてる。
People are being so venerating towards us that it's beginning to sound suspicious.
ファクトリアルエリアのタイタン族もぶっ飛ばしちゃって、僕がそこまで乗せていくから。それじゃあ行くね。みんな乗って乗って。ブリンプモン発進準備完了だよ。
I had no idea Blackmon was a thing before this game came out. If I get my own Blackmon, does it let me fly around? Iliad. I think this is the first time this is coming up. Yeah, but aircrafting video games always crashes down. Especially if it's a helicopter. I'm just surprised it happened this quickly. No, we're not surviving that. Never mind. He's even still able to fly.
みんな大丈夫？
とにかくここがファクトリアルエリアなんだよね。さっきの攻撃は何なんだろう。タイタン族の仕業なのかな。
Digimon is totally unfazed.
思ったよりやばい状況なのかもしんない。誰か話の
Oh,
わかる
he's
仲
fine.
間がいないかな。集落は目の前だから探してみて。
His face reminds me a lot of a Dragon Quest Golem. So I guess we actually can't go back to the town until we clear this dungeon. Okay, I think the Chromo is also rideable. I actually have 3 Scromon that have a Gyomon in the tree in the Digifarm. This one actually used to be a Huckmon, you can see it up there. But it just so happened that my Huckmon met the requirements to become a Gromon faster than my actual Gyomon. But then I also figured that War Gromon, that's the next evolution, has several options that I find interesting, so I thought I might as well raise 2 of them. I could, for example, get both versions of Gallantmon. Hey, it's Devastator. Get it to the bottom this time. So the opposite of the previous dungeon. Which the same had heavy metal drum. I don't know that one. Oh, what now? So we are on a timer to make things right, but we are also in the past, so how exactly does that work? And you have she's gone through spontaneous puberty again. I think this Kimon has the right personality, no? No bond, but I'm not going to spend time feeding him now. But for this tree, I have to review what personality they're supposed to have. I think Wormons is correct. Yeah, it's meant to be tolerant. This one... has to be sliced, so it's not quite there yet. I think Armadillo is also not correct. Needs to be overprotective. At least Wormon can evolve. Stingmon to this day doesn't have a full evolution route all the way to Mega, so my best bet will be to fuse him with this Vimon once I manage to evolve him as well. That actually should be working towards that. He needs to be a next Vimon, which requires him to be a zealous personality. So maybe I should work on this Sagurumon as well. He's pretty far away from Zealous. No, I still don't know what I want this Sagurumon to be, but I think a second tank would be nice. You can have either Palidramon or Dinobimon, and I actually like Dinobimon more, but I think his only option for further evolution is to become a... Yeah, he doesn't have a unique Mega form. Dinobimon can become either a Gran Quagamon or a Tiger Vespamon. Meanwhile, it's only Biodramon that can become a Imperial Dramon. So I want this one's personality to be friendly. The gun battery. That is a pretty big village as well. I thought we'd be able to play with the claw machine. Patching schema, okay. It's going to be the same deal as the X Tyrannomo. No, he showed the move when I look away. Nothing's happening on this one. Hey, feels the Digimon with the claw machine we were talking about that. Yeah. It's probably the Digimon does two first houses. A huge burst of electricity. Maybe a Egomon's punch. Whoops. Yeah, okay, indiscriminately is smacking, but you need a Digimon with a Thunder Sky, imagine. And who had one again? Deal it does. We game ready actually. I don't think Digimon will actually die if you beat them and you don't just turn back into eggs. Oh, nice. Oh, that Kokomo is actually in the battle. I think I'm going to need one more vaccine type. Pokemon B joined the party. I also need to review everybody's movesets. I haven't. You have to update it yourself because when you get. I mean, your Digimon has all its move slots filled and he tries to run anyone, you get it as a disc. With this one, I have to divide it between magic and the physical attacks because of both the forms need it. I mean, Kalmaramon needs physical and Dulanamon needs magical. Oh. Carmilla, okay. I like that name. I know it's the name of a Castlevania antagonist, but I guess it's not meant to be a reference to that. Or is it? Oh, where do I go to mark your request as fulfilled again? Here. So here's a physical attack. A magical one. Most of the moves I have are still kinda weak. At this point I should be focused on learning tier 2 moves like this one. Oh, there's a town to seal. That's what I needed. No, this should go to Assyria. No, gotta leave. That's fine. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to catch up in the story later, you can watch the VOD. Have a good rest of your night. Okay, see you tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be another half and half stream, so half Digimon, half Arcanites, because the event has been updated. I thought we'd have to leave him behind. Like he has to keep holding the machine. Oh, there's this one just dead. Okay, actually controlling Igamo. Just to move ahead a bit, that was
お待たせ。
weird.
大丈夫だった僕に任せて。
Oh, that's one.
やるよスタンビードブロー はあスタンビードブローやった
Oh yeah, you do actually control Igamo for a bit. Nice. So there is probably going to be more like sections like this.
ただいま そこだあいつだはあスタンビードブロー
Oh wow, the angle in it's Carmilla's turn. Actually, I think this is glitched. I don't think the camera is meant to be this close.
行くぜ激動ストフレーム マイザームズ
見なさいタイタニックチャージはあ
マイザームズ
そこだそこだ。おリーソ準備完了。タイタニックチャージやるよ。レゴパンチ。
These are pretty tanky.
激動ストフレームアタック開始じゃアームズミニ
見なさいタイタニックチャージ。レゴパンチ。すまない。みんなあいつだ発動可能。
Looks like I'm going to need more vaccines in the party again.
見なさいタイタニックチャージやるよ。レゴパンチ。
行くぜ激動ストフレーム
やるよ。スタンピードブロー。はっやっ
シャバハンマー
やった。リーソリーソいけるぞ。
Another one. Oh, it's a different Numemon this time. I think it's weaker than the Platinum Numemon. Nice.
やるよ。スタンピードブロー。だ
I don't actually get a lot of money out of this one.
そこだそこだ。やるんだ。
Oh, why did they have so many babies inside the texture? Anyway, I've read that for raising bond, it also helps to talk to your Digimon often, but the problem with this is that you can end up changing their personality to something you don't want them to have. I'll actually choose the Valor option because then I think she won't escape here the devoted quadrant there. I hope so. I'm actually not sure what Shira needs for his next evolution. I mean, I should stay with what she has.
やるよサンビートブローレインストリームやるよサンビートブローレインストリーム
Hey, she transformed on her own.
そこだ発動可能やったリリーソやるんだリリーソリリーソいけるぞやるよサンビートブローやったそこだそこだ
What is that? Hi there, that's my line. No, I thought this was going to be a mid-boss. I think this is the first opportunity I find in the digital world, and oh wow, that's a lot of
みん
Digimon.
な
There's even a couple Mega. Am I meant to be here at this point? Hey, it's a race. Here in Digimon boosts your speed. You know, Stocko slows you down. Okay, seems simple enough. So it should be like riding one. Probably not good for farming money because it doesn't give a lot. And you have to spend the money every time you want to play it. Wait, the control for this is a bit weird. You don't actually need to hold up, you just turn here around. It's just the steering. And it started to control the faster you're going. Also, there's, I think, invisible walls because I can't go too close to the edges. It's not quite as dynamic as I thought it would be, but at least it's easy. Oh, we get the Lalamo. So bad I already have a carry evolution like party. We need another battery. Oh yeah, it's a giant classic device. Every first time you clear one of these outer dungeons, you get a Digimon as a reward. It's weird that Lalamoon is a rookie and the other 2 dungeons I did before this one gave me champions. Another job for Digimon. You could make this a lot scarier if you actually had to dodge something in these events. Destroy your enemies. I don't even have to take control. Digimon is very overloaded. There's nothing else here. The high five is really cute. I kinda hope Igama is really the brother he... I think he sort of is, like he might have assimilated her brother's personality. Hey, a lot of work left. I really like Shoromon's design, too bad it's way late to use a baby in the frontline party. But I might raise into something I can use. Use a stun beat blow. Yeah, I might just use it as fodder.
なんとか抜け出せたぜ。
君何者？
ああ、そうだ。俺が何者だ。
I already have a print of Digimon in training, you know.
ああ、だから何者だって言ってんだ。で、何？
Oh, hi there,
どうして
Alexis.
挟まってたかって？そりゃ宝探じゃなくて。で、俺のことはいい
So I
だろ
have to stop the cutscene. And Diabiramok. So if you're not naming anybody specifically, this you'll go to the next Digimon I convert.
仕方ねえな。ほら、これやるから早く帰んな。ここは宝なんてないぞ。ないからな。ほら、さっさと帰るんだ。
ああ、うん。いい感じ。ただいま。
あいつだ。準備完了。
はあ、3ビートブロー、デイストリーム。
じゃあ
やるよ。3ビートブロー、デイストリーム。
X to outer when? That's actually a good question. I wonder if Arknights will ever break the threshold of every character only having one outer. Because if you ever played Grand Blue Fantasy, that game has some characters that have like several alternative versions. I think the one that has the most has like 7 outers.
やるんだ。発動可能。
How many outers did Vaira have again?
いいぞ。
Full revival spray, that's a lot. Oh, that's a disproportionate reward for beating a couple of Shamamu.
いいぞ。準備完了。
Like nice space game another out of my homegrown. If one was star one, I will then with the power of fanfic. I'm guessing that was a joke, but if it's serious and would actually make a fanfic, I would read it.
そこだ。いけるぞ。
やるよ。3ビートブロー、デイストリーム。
Oh, interesting. So this one's at 200%, so let's make this one into Diabitomon. And because it has a nickname, I want to use it as a fodder. Now what this will become later down the line, I have no idea.
キリソ発動可能。
やった
やるんだ。準備完了。
はあサンビートブローレインストリーム
や
トゥインクルビームキャ
やるよサンビートブローレインストリーム
くるくるレックラザン
はあサンビートブローレインストリームおう
You know, I find that I can't bring myself to skip Lanamon's victory animation. Ah, do we have to go all the way back now to talk to that first Pokémon? I thought it was going to say we have no better. I wasn't ready for the boss. I thought it would be behind that door. I didn't set up my party for this. No physical attacks then. Adonita did it with me, but she's in the box.
頼む。クロスアーツ発射。行くわよ鬼火殿。
I have to change it to Lanamo because she has more magic attack.
レインストリーム
And he's a data type just when I took out my stronger virus Digimon.
頼んだ。
And Digimon only has physical attacks, so he's going to deal very little damage. I'd better just use him as a tank healer.
鬼火玉。 レインストリーム。
And now it's the inverse. Oh yeah, Shiren is a vaccine type, so he's at a big disadvantage.
見なさい。タイタニックチャージ。
I guess it's time to actually try to use Devastator as a tank, not as a taunt skill.
いけ。
ありがとう。
So taunt has no effect on AoE attacks. But when it's a single target, the acid takes barely any damage. I find it odd that everything Carmilla has is weak against him.
頼む。 やっ。
I might have chosen Itinal.
頼む。
I Everything's missing. This is supposed to be happening. I did not think Gromon would be the MVP for the next boss, but here he is.
クロスアーツ発射。
ありがとな。
頼む。
I think it's better to keep Kyubimon.
頼んだ。
行くぜ、激動ストフレーム。
やりました。
Oh, he's dead. Just as fast as the boss. Everybody's sealed already. I'll take a short break now, which I was going to do before the next boss, but then he just up and showed up all of a sudden. I'll see you in a minute. Hi there. I still can't get through here. Oh, by the shape of this, there's going to be another boss. That was just the mid boss before it. But I think this part is actually good enough. I'm over leveled anyway. Actually, I should have looked up what type Volcanus Moon is. We're stretching a bit what counts as a title. He is also gonna insane.
神の両腕バージョンオメガにて見事撃退してくれる。
違うって、僕たちはタイタン族なんかじゃ。うわっ、
アイギオモン。
祈りに手を出すなら許さない。僕が守るんだ。まずはあの両腕をなんとかしなきゃ。
来るわ。
So we are not fighting him directly. Also, you got all the three main types. The one arm is vaccine, the other is virus, and Volcanismo himself is data. Interesting.
やるよスタンディードブローありがとう
Carmel doesn't have any AoE skills. I'll focus on taking down one at a time.
皆さんタイタニックチャージ ヘッドパンチ
And you'll just keep thinking. Unless everything he does is AoE.
皆さんタイタニックチャージ
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't have a single target attack, so taunt is not going to help.
やるよヘッドパンチ
And here's one more vaccine Digimon.
頼む
ゾーフルクルレッカーザン
Taunt, but that was already the one I was attacking anyway. He does have one single target skill.
クルクルレッカーザン
皆さんタイタニックチャージ やるよヘッドパンチ いけるぞ
Very tough draw already against one of Mineramon's allies. The only time I've seen Volcanismo before was in a post on the game's Steam page, I think, where they were announcing a new Digimon that was going to be in the game. That was this one. So Carmela's dead. The next time is going to be vaccine, so I'll bring out the other one.
頼んだ
クルクルレッカーザン
クロスアーツ発射 やるよスタンディードブロー 行くわよ鬼火玉
Now she has to be the main DPS for the other one. She's my only data in the party. Oh, nice. He can't use that single target to attack anymore. One of the Olympus 12 and the guy who was the leader of that town. Oh yeah, they had mentioned his name. I just seen I remember this design, but I didn't remember Volcan's bomb by name, like who he was. If they're actually meant to be 12 members and Minerva is one, so you won't fight her as a boss, and this is the first one you're fighting. So there's 10 of them left. Then I guess we'll have to get started on the early game. Assuming we'll fight every single one except for Minerva.
ゾーフルクルレッカーザン ありがとう
鬼火玉
is a totally useless taunt. You're already the only enemy we can attack. Satori Trio, I assume Merukimon is one of them. Him and the Minerva might actually go insane down the line, and we'll have to fight them. That seems to happen a lot in Digimon games. Like, very often the Digimon are meant to be your guide NPCs have to be fought eventually. It happened in the first Digimon story.
話を聞いてよ。
先の腕では貴様ら相手には大きすぎた。それならば
How many of them? And you can't attack Volcanismo directly yet, so yeah, we have 4 more arms to deal with. I thought you'd have to like ignore them and just attack Volcanismo. Now we're going to need Devastator again. Nice. Oh, not Tillis. I should have brought my main party to this, I guess I got too comfortable. Nice, keep using these single target attacks. Sudden difficulty jump, yeah, another Digimon Story staple. It's a funny coincidence that when I played Dragon Quest Monsters, my tank was also a golden monster. Although that one was more of a perpetual martyr, like the Mechanorm will die several times every boss fight and have to keep being revived. So far it's not too bad, but I'm worried about the next phase, if there is one. Because Volcanismon's big HP bar up there is still full.
やるよスタンディードブロー鬼火玉
そや消されキャー感謝
I have to keep healing.
消され
行くわよ鬼火玉
I also worried about Volcanismon's CP gauge filling up there. Not sure what will happen once it's full. I guess you'll start charging up a super attack like the other
クラ
bosses.
スアーツ発射 大丈夫か
ありがとうキャー感謝
大丈夫か
It's just one left.
はあスタンディードブロー鬼火玉
What now?
これでも止められないかならば貴様らに特化した腕を作るまでよ
We're not done with the arms. Also, I like this detail of all the little mecha figures beside the Volcanismon.
鑑定解析分析
操縦席を覆っていたハッチが開いたよ。今なら攻撃を当てられるチャンスだ。
Restoring, so I guess if we let him use his super attack, he'll just spawn more arms.
頼む
激動ストフレーム
And I need to deal magic attack to him.
はあスタンディードブローやっ
This attack keeps missing all the time.
激動ストフレーム
頼む 大丈夫か
Also, if at this point of the game you were getting used to most bosses being virus, and you came in with a full vaccine part, you would regret it.
レインストリームはあスタンディードブロー
勢だ。これで貴様らもお
Here
しまい
comes
よ。
more arms, I think. Yeah. And I don't get to attacking until I get rid of them again, right? This is gonna be a long boss. And other problem is that I'm starting to run out of SP on the entire party.
大丈夫か。ありがとね。
Oh, and now the arms are data type. At least you seem to have less HP than the arms from before. Oh, Igamon is down. And he was my only hero.
さあ、やった。頼んだ。頼む。
行くぜ、激動ストフレーム。
Nice. Devastator never takes more than 2 digits of damage. I think I got I'm back in control of the fight. Igamon now is just focusing on keeping himself alive because all of these arms are super effective against him. But I'll probably need him for the next phase. I'll just better conserve your SP. Actually, I should have told him to guard. Time to vamos here again. Hopefully it's the last one. If only I was able to invert Shiren. I don't think there's an item that does that. 0%. That's the bigger problem, I'm lacking damage when I'm able to attack volcanoes more. I think I'll have to fight one more set of arms. Oh wait, so I thought that by depleting tactical shot stopping from summoning more arms, but when you do it, it just summons more arms anyway. So what was the point? Oh, if you're interrupting, the arms don't come with less HP. And I imagine that the earlier you do it, the less HP the arms will have. So yeah, so when it was trying to attack volcanoes more directly, it was his turn, it said restoring on the top of the screen. So that's what it meant, like the more turns you let him use that skill, the more HP the arms will have when he summons them. So that's why I went to interrupt him.
頼む。やるよ、スタンビートブロー。行くわよ、鬼火ガム。レインストリーム。
Oh, their Devastator is not dunking anymore.
やるよ、スタンビートブロー。行くわよ、鬼火ガム。レインストリーム。
まだだ、まだ終わりではないぞ。私を誰だと思っている。
We're doing this again.
直せばいいだ。
And he still has only a bit less than half his stuff. He might have to fight another Psycho of Arms.
頼んだ。
行くぜ、エキゾーストフレーム。
やるよ、スタンビートブロー。行くわよ、鬼火ガム。
I should have used their buff skill to increase Carmilla's damage.
レインストリーム。頼む。
ああ、エキゾーストフレーム。
So your magic charge Carmilla.
ありがとね。レインストリーム。
I think this is it.
エキゾーストフレーム。
Nice. How long was that? Regardless, great boss fight. Really enjoyed this one. I went in a bit cocky, bringing my B party, but by doing that, I got to see how the potential they have. Especially Carmilla, she was great in this. I thought that because she has no weakness or strengths against any type, that she's not going to excel against anything, but she was my main DPS here. She's very useful in fights where you have to deal with all types as enemies, like this one. And Devastate works really well as I think.
これまでか。かくなる上はこのお宝だけでも。なんということだ。私の秘密の秘伝のお宝が。終わりだ。神の両腕も。
No, he's way goofier than I thought he would be from his design. I mean, his design does look silly, but his actual face looks pretty serious.
タイタンの資格よ。これ以上私にできることはない。フィンユは何を言っているんだ。これは私が
Is that a plastic model you built yourself?
そしてそれも失われ、私は全てを失ったのだ。
それ秋葉原にいっぱい売ってたやつ？
なんだと。
But made I go to simple that they simply fix the cyber issue of neutrals. I wasn't aware that they were considered bad in cyber stuff, but I think I just didn't have many of them in my main party in that game. But neutrals are pretty good for tanks, because you'll never be weak against any type. And for bosses with multiple foes like this one, when you have to deal with different types.
あ、うん、多分人間の世界で。
人間の世界。
私たちはその世界から来たから。
Like it's only thanks to the fact that Devastator is too weak against any type that he could tank all of the arms pretty well.
最初からそう言ってるのに。
それはすまない。なんとも失礼なことをした。外はどうなっているんだ。安全になったのか。
私たちデジタルワールドの動力を元に戻したくて来たの。あなたなら何とかできるって聞いて。
確かにタイタン族に利用されるよりはと送電を止めていたが、お前たちがここに来たということはある程度タイタン族の進行には歯止めがかかったのだ。
うん、人間の世界に帰るにはユノモンの力が必要なんだって。
そしてユノモンに会うためには鉄道を使うための電力が必要だってメルクリモンは。
And I said before I was interested in making one more tank Digimon. Now that I saw what Devastator can do, I want to do that even more.
イリアス全体への送電を再開した。これで鉄道も動き出すはずだ。ここを出た先のエレベーターも使えるはずだ。それに乗ればすぐに。
Once he's back to his senses, it's pretty helpful.
お前たちはお前たちの旅に戻るといい。
ありがとう。ウルカヌスモンさん。
さんが余計だ。ウルカヌスモンと呼んでくれ。エレベーターで集落に戻り、皆にこのことを伝えてもらえるか。
The dive shark seemed to give so much of an advantage. Now plenty of sorts. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I think in Cyber Sloth gave you enough slots that you could have like 3 of each type in your party, so you'd never be at a disadvantage. You could have a full front line of any of the 3 main types.
では、さらばだ。また会える時を楽しみにしているぞ。しかし、そのうち人間の世界に行ってみたいものだな。
I'd love to visit the Homeworld, especially if they have wondrous things like my treasure there. He would go insane if you went to Akihabara, which is a map you can visit here. I wonder if that's going to happen. And that fight took so long that it's almost time to end the stream, but let's try to finish this quest line first. I have to... Never mind, his personality didn't change from that. Nothing to loot here. Look, well, railroad should be working. We are unlocking the new area it seems. Also, this is the roadmap. Seems like you have a lot to see in the digital world yet. I love how this looks. Actually, never mind. It says on the UI that this is the only the Iliad digital world, that there are going to be more maps still. Oh, she's talking about her brothers. That thing I have I have some questions about that, because the way the game talks about it so far makes it seem like it was like a secret incident that people don't understand how it happened yet. But if you saw the anime short, they were caught up in a war between Digimon, like out on the street in public. It would be weird if that didn't show up on the news or anything. Should be the Dresso server. I suppose so, and this might count as a spoiler, but from what people have data mined from this game, it seems like in the DLC, the Royal Knights are going to be a lot more relevant. And there's the Locomo. I think this is what that Kurumon I had before will evolve into. And now they love us even more.
This ユノモンの神殿に行ける。
私もついていくわ。紹介と報告もあるしね。あ、それじゃあ駅舎からユノモンの神殿ガーディアンパレスに行こう。
時にお前はどうするのだ、アイギオン。お前はデジモン。この世界に残ることもできる。人間には人間の世界が、そしてデジモンにはデジモンの世界が。
We might learn something important about Digimon now, because Junamon shows up in the very end of the short. What it implies that happened is that Inori's brother had that bright golden egg from before. Then he lost it, and it passed to Junamon, who we are going to meet next.
ユノモンにも考えがあるかもしれない。
And I had the impression that Igumon hatched from the egg, but I might be wrong. But you'll find out about that shortly, I believe. And that's going to be in tomorrow's stream, so to reiterate, tomorrow I'm playing more Digimon and Dark Knights. First half will be Digimon, second half will be Arc Knights with the EX stages of the Master's Travels. I'll look for somebody to rate. You won't see the Queen of Olympia today. I was accidentally spoiled to what she looks like, and it was a bit of a shock. But it will be in the beginning of tomorrow's stream. Thanks, have a good rest of your day as well. I think this one is like shortly behind me in the story. That's why I'm reading today. And this is it for today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope to see you tomorrow and have a good night.